It is the Corona post-show here at the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. The Nossa Senora de Nazaré in the background, an iconic church, and the setting here, this beautiful town of Saquarema. I'm Kaipo along with Mitchell Salazar, Strider Wazalewski, and we've had a big day of competition today. We finished the women's elimination round, the men's elimination round, the round of 16 for the men's, and the quarterfinals for the women. We are all set with semifinals for the women, quarterfinals for the men. Looking forward to a finals day. So Mitchell Salazar, your highlight today.
Carissa Moore's dominance in the second to last heat of the day, dropping the best score of the event so far. On the women's side, Kaipo, pretty good stuff from Carissa Moore.
Yeah, that was great stuff. You know what? Speaking of great stuff, the youngster, the rookie on tour, Katie Simmers, she found her way into the semifinals, winning quarterfinal number 4. Let's hear from Katie Simmers. She is with Maida Pops.
Yeah, Katie, congratulations. So you find yourself there, and sorry guys, how was the heat for you?
I don't know. It kind of got pretty good. Kind of just watching it, I was pretty excited to go out, but I knew that it was way harder than it seemed from the beach. But I don't know. We were kind of just thinking to just like paddle far out the back and try to get those lefts, because instead of just trying to battle the current little heat. But yeah, I'm happy to beat Molly. She's kind of the golden girl, and I feel like she can't lose anymore, so had to beat her. But yeah, I don't know. I think me and Molly are maybe even. I think she maybe has a win over me, so I think we're even now, so I'm stoked.
Yeah, so you're probably grabbing some spots in the rankings. So are you looking for that right now for the finals 5?
Shoot, I don't think so. I hope I just win this and maybe I'll think about it, but I don't know. I just want to, just make some heats. It was kind of a bummer the last event. I kind of just sat there, so yeah, just catch waves and try not to do that and just surf, beach break. It's pretty fun out there, so. Yeah.
All right, congratulations. See you in the next round. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Maida. Wow, I love her. I do, Strider. I mean, I can't get enough of Katie Simmers. Not just the exciting surfing, really, but just the honesty that she brings in those interviews. It's really fun.
There's like no walls, you know. When you're a youth and you're coming up, the older you get, you feel like you hit more walls, and she has none, and she has no filter, and she just is kind of a mellow tone. Just this is how it is, and I love when it comes across like that. And you know what? The way that she was throwing herself at the lip line out there on some of those bombs, it was insane to watch. So reckless abandon, technique involved with it, and well, there's a lot more to come from her, let me tell you.
Yeah, she's a lot more to come from the youngster, the rookie on tour. But we talk about the establishment. Carissa Moore went out there and lit it up, Mitchell Salazar. Let's take a look at her quarterfinal against Betty Lou Sakura Johnson. Kind of the master and apprentice once again, this rematch from El Salvador. Betty Lou, though, looking good, 7.17.
No, she was looking great. She was leading most of the heat up until a certain point when Carissa dropped the 8.83 on her, and then she just got the ball rolling here. Kaipo straight up into the lip, a 6.5 for Carissa Moore, and both on the lefts as well. The dominance that she's had in Rio, especially in Saquarema, is noticeable, and it's just the power of these waves that capitalized the opportunity for Carissa to really showcase her skills, and then drops the highest single wave score for the women in this event so far, an 8.83 on this. How good did the waves get at the end, though? Look at that, snap into the lip, and then the second turn as good as it gets and as committed as it possibly could have gotten to. Wow.
Carissa Moore, Strider, is looking good as we roll into finals day. She'll be in the semifinal number 2 up against Caitlin Simmers as we take a look at our brackets. Tyler Wright and Caroline Marks, Strider in semifinal number 1. Semifinal number 2, Carissa Moore and Caitlin Simmers. Do you have a favorite?
You know I do. For both of them, they're both Rad Mayhems. So there you go, Caroline Marks and Carissa Moore.
All right, well, there we go. We got to the pointy end with the women. Had some great surfing. The waves shaped up this afternoon, but on the men's side of stuff, we had some surprises. We had not some surprises. We had a bunch of surprises, starting with Jadson. Andre got the injury wild card, and then Jadson comes up against Griffin Colapinto, world #1, Mitch. But Andre was too much for him.
Yeah, and Griff got off to a decent start, dropped to 4, but then Jadson just found his rhythm. And with these overlapping heats, I think Griffin might have just thought about things a bit too much. Kaipo Jadson got on a roll, and Griffin, with the chance at the end to close it out, wasn't able to get the score. This wave, just unfortunately for him, shouldered off, and a disappointing loss. He's not a #1 heading into J-Bay anymore, and this is a huge performance for the guy who's actually looking to go to Toledo to compete in the Challenger Series event. He doesn't know whether to commit to this event or still keep going to Toledo over there in South Africa now.
Took down Griffin Colapinto, then Jadson warms up here, and it was a bittersweet victory, taking down good friend Filipe Toledo. 5.5, a 5.9, a 5.17 was enough for Toledo to get the job. I mean, for Jadson to get the job done, Strider.
Yeah, you know what? I think Jadson might be the only surfer to beat world #1 twice in one day, because Toledo was actually world #1 at this point as well. He had already switched over to being the points leader. So Jadson Andre taking down world #1 twice in one day. I mean, it was insane. You know, the end of this was kind of a hectic situation where Toledo came in, had hurt his knee on his last wave there, and they did some extensive tests on his knee. The MRI came back clean, and, you know, it looks like he's going to be right there for J-Bay.
Let's take a look at our men's bracket. Quarterfinals all set, and it will be Jadson Andre against Yago Dora, quarterfinal #3. That'll be good for looking John Florence, a couple of North Shore boys, quarterfinal #4 there, Mitchell.
That's my favorite one, especially due to the implications on the rankings right now. But how about that sneaker quarter 2? Ethan Ewing, Leo Fioravanti, both top 10 surfers, Kipes. Necessary moment for Ethan Ewing to move into the semis and establish some points, and maybe even move up into second if he can.
Yeah, so that is lining up for a great finals day there. Strider, you talked a little bit about Filipe Toledo and his injury. I have the official injury report coming back from the MRI, so we just get this real clear. It is a normal MRI result. There's no ligament damage. There's a small crack to the cartilage. No surgery is going to be required. The diagnosis, probably fine to surf the next event. We'll probably need some meds and physiotherapy. So that is the official report on Filipe Toledo and his injury. So good news, actually.
Amazing news, especially going into Jeffreys Bay, where he's been dominant in the past before. Two-time event champion there, probably still has the best competitive performance in surfing history, that perfect 10-point ride in 2017. And as of right now, still looking like the person to beat in terms of the World Championship, Kipes.
Yeah, that's right. So good news there, and a quick recovery for Filipe Toledo. Let's get back on track with the natural kayak wave of the day. No surprise, this wave of the day came at the end of the day, the conclusion. Carissa Moore, 8.83. What do you think about that, Mitch?
Oh, I love this wave. I was able to see it live from the beach, and just the way she was able to perform in such a dangerous and clutch situation. Real explosive surfing, but I can't overstate this enough. The degree of difficulty and the commitment in just those 2 turns alone, Kaipo, well-deserved excellent score for the Hawaiian surfer.
Yeah, great on the back end. Natural kayak made of choices that respect the ocean. Plastic parts made from more than 50% recycled plastics from the Brazilian coastal cities. Thank you to Natural Kayak for that wave of the day. More stuff. Looking forward to the future. We're going to ask our friends at Surfline and see what finals day, what tomorrow has in store. Here's our Surfline forecast. What do you see, Strider?
Well, some more solid swell coming our way through Saturday, so it's going to be solid tomorrow, still overhead, and pretty clean conditions, and sun's supposed to be out, so we could have an amazing finals day here tomorrow with some really high performance surf. Crowds will be off the chart, as well as the faces of the waves. It looks like 6 to 8 foot and offshore. Are you kidding me? That looks great to me, guys. Let's go.
If it's anything like this afternoon, Kaipo, I think we're in for a treat and we're in for a show. Going to be a great finals day.
Saving the best for the last day of the event period. We did a lot of work over here, and one of the activations that we did was with our Rising Tides, the Brazilian edition, where we had 25 of upcoming young female surfers meet the pros. Let's take a look at the Rising Tides activation.
We're here at the 8th stop of WSL Rising Tides here in Saquarema in Brazil. We got an amazing turnout today. Tons of little girls came and showed up. I remember surfing in Garopaba when I was really little. Actually, there was barely any female surfing. Hoping that we can continue this inspiration for a long time to come.
I'm Marina Werneck. I used to be a competitive surfer. I was South America champion.
Certo? Eu vou, mas só que eu não vou surfar.
Tá gripado? And now I'm an ambassador for women surfing in Brazil. And this is my 3rd season being the host for Rising Tides. So young to have the opportunity to surf with their idols and heroes and dream on having a career on surfing, maybe being world champions one day.
You can just tell they have such an amazing love for surfing and so passionate. It inspires me so much. I was once them, and I did a Rising Tides when I was younger, and now I'm here surfing on the world tour, so I know that any of these girls could make the tour and do what I'm doing.
When I was their age, we didn't have many girls surfing, and now we see like a bunch of little girls surfing and reefing, and to have these special events that inspire them to be together with other girls and feel confident and strong. And when they see like Carissa and Tati talking to them and talking how they start surfing.
Yeah, that's how it all started.
That's one thing that really motivates them. And I wish I had that when I was young, but it's really cool to be a part of it.
Carissa, yes.
Tati?
Tati, yes.
Uh-huh.
A lot of girls.
So much fun.
I am so happy.
And super cool to see some of the girls that are part of the first Rising Tides, as Lara and Bella. Now they're on the Challenger Series and they're doing the QSs, so that's something that we can prove how important Rising Tide is for them.
Within the last, I'd say 5 to 10 years, it's been a huge change, a huge wave of women coming up in the sport of surfing in Brazil, and for me, just to see that is telltale that it's going to continue to evolve for long to come, especially now that it's an Olympic sport. Obviously, I would love to have other female representatives of Brazil on tour. I think that's what we're all looking forward to one day, and I'm sure it's not far away. There's going to be many, many Brazilian girls on tour, and I can't wait to watch.
Great activation with the Rising Tides. It's time now for today's top 5. Let's get into today's top 5. We've had some great moments. It was a long day here at Itaúna Beach. Some great moments. Top 5 today, we're going to start off with Caroline Marks, number 5 strider. She goes excellent, 8.37.
Yeah, great rail work up into the corner. The second turn here on the fins, punches it out. I mean, really solid, strong, and assertive surfing with that backwash coming through, just really pushing through. So, you know what, Caroline Marks showing that she had what it took right in the end of that heat.
Yeah, and especially against Lakey Peterson, who had something to lose. And Caroline Marks, number 3 in the rankings. Huge result for her moving into the semis tomorrow, Kipes.
Yeah, she's excited about what the future brings. Caroline Marks on a roll at the back half of the year. Turning our attention to Caroline, and she's getting ready for finals day. Semifinals coming up tomorrow for Marks. Number 4, Leonardo Fiorvanti. He waited till the last moment to flip his heat against Jordy Smith, Mitch.
Yeah, and he had a decent scoreline going up until, you know, the very last few minutes when Jordy was able to switch things up. Had to deal with that backwash right there. Had a great heat himself, and I thought Jordy Smith was slowly finding his rhythm in this event. But then Leo switches things up and goes to the air, and as soon as he lands it, claims it, fired up the crowd, and he really got everybody hyped up. Got the score at the end, Kaipo moving into the quarters yet again.
Number 3, we got a full plate of some elimination round upsets. Starting with this one. Number 1 in the rankings, Griffin Colapinto goes down to Jadson Andre Stride.
Yeah, Jadson just fundamentally picked this heat apart. I like the way Griffin turned it around, started surfing on the face, but you know what? It was too late. Jadson had his number. Wasn't enough time left for him, backed up that score. And Jadson just putting it on the face. Look at him, just nice clean turns, solid surfing, dropping the wallet, just, you know, keeping it all around his feet. Nice work.
Sammy Pupo up against Gabe Medina, and another upset. Mitchell, Sammy Pupo takes the win.
And looking to make back-to-back finals here in Saquarema as well, and look for his first championship tour event win. Great air right there by Sammy. And Gabe made a comeback, and it was a decent one too, but it just wasn't enough to get a two-wave heat total, Kaipo. They would break him out of that mini combo he was in at the beginning of this heat. Great comeback, but Samuel Pupo yet again moving into another quarterfinal finish, at least here in Saquarema.
Making the best of his wild card appearance here, Sammy Pupo. We'll see him in the quarterfinals. Congratulations.
Yeah, good show of sportsmanship right there between both surfers.
Seth Moniz comes up against Jack Robinson. Robinson in the zone, surfing really well, but things get a little weird with Jack Robinson and Seth Moniz. Seth Moniz takes the win.
Yeah, Seth, you know what? He positioned himself in a spot to where Jack and he were both kind of questioning what was going on in the heat, and then unfortunately, Jack got an interference.
But realistically, Kaipo, that was the one heat where somebody was in control of their own fate, and Jack Robinson, unfortunately, got pushed to a limit that he couldn't hold.
Number 2, Sammy Pupo does it again, this time defeating Joao Chianca in the round of 16, Mitch.
Wow, and a big performance here from Sammy in one of the first heats of the day for the men, and Joao was off to a good start, had a couple of decent numbers. It seems like he was finding his rhythm out there at his home break. The board looked great underneath his feet too. I was thinking to myself, oh, he's gonna look good for finals day. Next thing you know, Sammy just turns things around after a strong start by Joao on this wave, and then Sammy with another strong performance, Kibes.
Friendly fire, Strider, between two good friends, but only one could advance.
Yeah, no friends on a powder day. You know what? You got to get out there and get your line in while you can, and somebody else is going to take it otherwise, and Sammy took his. He found the line. He found his glide. He got the scores. He got the nod over the local boy and friend. Sammy looking for the finals day win. Can he pull it off? That would be amazing.
I think he can.
Good friends enjoying a moment on the beach. Number 1. It's done. Carissa Moore clinches her spot for the WSL Final 5. We're going to see Carissa Moore at the Rip Curl WSL Finals. She's got a reservation, Mitchell.
And she's looking to be the #1 seed yet again. Looking for back-to-back victories here in Saquarema. And Kaipo, the way she was able to do it, finding the 2 best waves out there in a 35-minute heat. Some amazing stuff from the 5-time world champ. I really like what I'm seeing. And just the way she was able to navigate a difficult lineup after waiting all day long to surf her heat. Some amazing footwork there from Carissa Moore. Dropping an 8.83, the highest single wave score of the women so far, Kaipo, on this one.
Yeah, and Carissa spoke to her after this heat win. She's relieved. A lot of weight off her shoulder now going into the final couple events of the year. But you know she's going to continue to tear it up. So congratulations to Carissa Moore. Thank you, Mitchell. Thank you, Strider. Tomorrow, 6:25 a.m. local time. You can go to worldsurfleague.com to check for a possible 6:30 start. But guess what? We're going to have finals day tomorrow.
It's on.
At some day. It's going to be on. So thank you, guys. And with that, I just want to say aloha and enjoy today's end-of-day highlights. Bom dia and good morning. This is the Vivo Real Pro presented by Corona.
Jaddy's got a left to run after here. setting up a big finish. Comes in as a wild card replacement for Kelly Slater and eliminates world number 1. Snap, getting back to the lip for a float. Hanging in there, and he will get the completion.
Sammy Pupo on into the round of 16. Medina eliminated from competition. Mamiya throws it tail high, inverted. The upsets continue.
Prior to interference on Jack Robinson now.
We're into the round of 16 for the men. Samuel on the left. A couple of ribs in the face to deal with. Oh, and here he is with that layback slide. One of the patented maneuvers from hard count.
Ethan able to square up nice and vertical. How about the timing off the lip? And the big man crushed it. Fiorvanti needs a 5.44 tail high reverse. He nails it.
Filipe Toledo goes down and upset Jadson Andre into the quarterfinals.
Going to be setting up for a great finals day.
Yagodora, big hack there, beautiful. Back up, well-timed finish.
Nice snap to start, perfect transition to shut it down. John into the quarterfinals. Barron finding a tail high whip.
As we enter into the women's quarterfinals. Right, slashes on the top, a little release. One more time. Exciting start to this ride. Carefully executes that final turn. Here goes Caroline. Nice carve. Winds up off the bottom. Needs to attack this. Does so with the backwash. Manages that turn. One more snap for Caroline. Fist pump.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.